touch. Hey everybody, I'm your girl, Mrs. Toy Banks, the world's most satisfied wife. And I got a question for you. When was the last time you touched your spouse? I know that sounds like a crazy question, right? But I just got to ask you, when was the last time you touched your spouse? When the last time you massaged their back? When was the last time you rubbed their feet? Rub their arms, massage their head? When was the last time you touched your spouse? When? You ought to be ashamed of yourself if you ain't touched your spouse in a while. I read an article, and I'm going to share some things that I learned from this article about the power of touch. And I just want all y'all to know this, okay? Because, see, the enemy doesn't want married couples to know this. The first thing he tries to take away from a married couple is touch. That's why many of you are not having sex. What is wrong with y'all not having sex? Are y'all crazy? Are you crazy? Okay? And I know you like, well, Toy, we got some issues. I don't want him touching me. He might be saying, I don't want to. Well, listen, whatever money you need to get to pay that coach, or to go get marital coaching, you need to do it. You need to fight for your marriage so that you can get to touching again. So I know you got your excuses, but let me ask you, have you went and got help? Have you? Because touching is so powerful, and there's 7 reasons why you should touch your spouse. And I'm going to share it with you. And it's something that you guys are lacking right now. You're slacking in the touching area. So let me tell you what touching does. Number 1, it initiates communication. When you touch your spouse, listen, have you ever had an argument with your spouse and you guys are a little mad, a little time has went by, maybe it's later on that evening, and you're sitting on the couch, you're watching a movie or something, and then their leg is right here, their arm or something right here, and you just rub their arm. Maybe you had such a big attitude that you didn't do it. You were just caught all up in your feelings, so you didn't do it. But I want you to try that. I want you to try just rubbing that arm, rubbing that leg, rubbing that back. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to initiate communication. It's going to break down all of that frustration. I remember when me and my husband was going through something many years ago, and we were walking past each other. And I went over to my sister's house and I was crying. I'm like, I'm done with him. I'm out of this stupid marriage, right? Anybody ever had that feeling? I know I have, okay? And so God told me when I got home, go and apologize. Now, I wasn't the wrong one. I wasn't. Lord, how you going to tell me to apologize? I didn't do nothing wrong. So I wouldn't apologize. And I'm like, okay, I did my part. I apologize for my wrong. If I disrespect you, if I hurt your feelings, I just, took the high road and I apologize. But then I heard the Lord say, my husband was laying down on the couch watching sports or a movie, whatever. And he said, now go rub his back. Oh, ew. You're going a bridge too far, Lord. You asking for too much now. You want me to rub his back? I already apologized when I shouldn't have had to apologize. But I submitted, and I did exactly what God told me to do. I went and started massaging my husband's back. And when I tell you that thing that we were going through, we were going through this thing for several weeks. But when I started rubbing my husband's back, that thing lifted. It was gone. I can't even tell you what we were arguing about. We never talked about it again. It was over. That night we watched a movie, made love. We got to touching a little bit more. What? I'm going to tell you, initiation. There's a communication. When you touch, it's like you're saying, I'm sorry. You're communicating without saying words. And some of you are going to have to take the bigger road. You can say, I'm always saying I'm sorry. So what? Do not be weary in your well-doing. Okay? Number 2, a touch reduces stress. It reduces stress. Now, let me tell you this. They did a study they had this group of people, they separated them. And for 30 days, they paid for them to get a massage. This group, a massage 2 days out of the week. The other group didn't get a massage. At the end of those 30 days, they gave them a math test. The people who had the massage twice a week scored way better than the other group. Here's the other thing that they found. They found that sports team, my sons, they all play basketball. Our lives are in a stand. They find that sports teams who high five and hug one another perform better. Studies have proven it. Studies have proven it. That the power of touch reduces stress. I actually went a little ahead of myself. But when you touch your spouse, it reduces. Just imagine if somebody touching you like, oh my goodness, that feels so good. Oh my God. Have you ever got a massage? Oh, if you ain't had a massage, you really need to go get one. And you're like, that feels good. When I'm massaging my husband's forehead, he's like, when I'm massaging his feet, he's like, girl, you can have whatever you like. Yeah. I mean, he's going crazy. He loves for me to massage his feet and to massage his back. He loves it, right? So the power of touch, you will reduce the stress in your marriage if you just touch your spouse. Number 3. Touch produces self-confidence and power comes with it. I mean, I've been out with my husband and, when you're out with a bunch of couples or you're out at a party or something like that and, and your husband reaches over and put his arm around you and maybe he's rubbing his back, or you see the wife, she's rubbing her husband's back or whatever. It just makes him feel more confident. It makes him feel like, oh, she loves me. And other people look at you like, man, that look good. I want some of that. Have you ever seen that? I mean, I was over, this happened some years ago. We were at a family member's house and we were all just sitting and chilling and then we had our shoes off and all that stuff. And my husband was sitting down on the couch and I sat down on the floor in front of him and I just massaging his leg. And I saw his cousin looking over at the leg as I was massaging. He was just in the daze like, what that right there? Oh, can I get some of that right there? That right there. Can I get, he wanted some. Don't you want some? You want some. Let me tell you, your spouse wants you to touch them. Even though they're mad at you, keep touching them. That touching will calm them down. It will relieve stress and it builds confidence in that marriage. It's like there's a power that comes from the touch. Number 4, you increase seduction. Listen, when you're massaging and you're touching, especially you married couples out there that haven't had sex in a while, I double dog dare you to just start massaging your spouse. It's gonna be on tonight. When you start touching, and even if you start touching at the top of the day, you come home, you still touching. When you come in, do you guys have love habits? Me and my husband, we have natural love habits. I didn't even know. I call them love habits. I didn't even know we were doing it. But we have these love habits. Before you leave the house, we kiss each other goodbye. Do any of you guys do that? That's what my husband and I think it's disrespect for you to be leaving and you gonna leave out the door. You ain't gonna say bye. You ain't gonna give me no kiss. Where you going? Get your tail back over here. And then when he comes home, he enters the house and greets me with a kiss. That's our love habits. Before we go to bed, we kiss each other goodnight. It's something that we do. So when we have troubles in the marriage, we still have to do that. And it is so aggravating. But I'm going to tell you, that one love habit that we have to do has kept our marriage together. Because when we're upset, we still have to kiss each other before we go out the door. It's something that is just written in stone in our marriage. It's a love habit that we have, and we do it even when we're mad. I mean, sometimes you be like, you do that. You don't even pucker up your lips. But the fact that you did it, You still touched him. You still touched him. You still hugged him. I'm telling you, it increases seduction. And if you're going through something, you can get over it past. Why? Because it increases seduction. You all sex-cited. You like, I ain't mad no more. I ain't mad no more. I'm sorry. You over it? Okay. It increases seduction. You got to get to touching, boo. Start touching you. If you want to increase some seduction, start touching. Okay. Number 5. This is where that peak performance comes from. That I actually went ahead of myself, and that's where they say that when you touch, when you can perform better when you have been touched. When my husband and I, we've been to several games, and it puts a smile on your face when you see the team is close to each other, and they be they be doing their moves or whatever, and then when they call them out, they do these hand slaps or whatever, and it's a closeness. My husband was watching this thing on I think it was Michael Jordan. No, it was LeBron James. And they were showing him before he went pro, and he was a part of this team. I don't know the name of the team, but it was a good show because it showed you how close they were, and they had a bond. They hugged one another. They were there for one another. They gave high fives. They smacked each other on the butt like, good job, bro. And they had a peak performance. They ate together. They sat together. They prayed together. They did everything together, and they had a closeness because of their touch. And no one could touch them. That's why they were the best in the nation. They were the best team in the nation. And I believe when I was watching that, I was just smiling because I knew that they had a closeness, and they hugged one another, and they supported one another. That touches everything. It causes you to have peak performance. Number 6, it draws you closer. It draws you closer. It draws you closer. The scientists have proven that when you touch your spouse, the chemical oxytocin is released. Now, that's the bond agent. That's the bond chemical, right? That more chemicals, the oxytocin is released the moment you start touching your spouse. Which there's a bond and a closeness that's happening because the hormone oxytocin is being released in the body when you touch. Do you want to release some oxytocin today? Well, get to touching your spouse. So that because it bonds you, it draws you closer to them. Do you know that oxytocin is only released in a woman is released when she has a baby? Because it bonds that baby. You wonder why a baby is so bonded to their mother is because oxytocin has been released. When a mother is breastfeeding, oxytocin is released, and it creates an even stronger bond with the baby. And when she has sex with a man, that's why you don't need to be having sex, but with your husband. Live right now. You're going to live for God. That's what you're going to do. Okay. But wives, husbands out there, I need you to know that oxytocin, every time you have sex, every time you touch one another, you're building a stronger bond. And that's the very thing that Satan doesn't want you to do. He doesn't want you to have a closeness. He doesn't want you to have a bond. He wants you to be separated and divided. Why? Because a house divided cannot stand. He wants you to stay stuck in your pride. He wants you to stay mad. He wants you to hold on to that thing and be operating in unforgiveness. He wants you to do that. You know why? Because he's winning and you letting him. You are letting him win in your marriage when you're not touching your spouse. You want him to lose? Touch your spouse today. I triple dog dare you to touch your spouse because you're going to burn coils on the devil's back when you touch your spouse. Because he can keep, when you're in that unforgiveness and you're not touching, God said a little leaven the whole lump. The enemy only needs a little space to enter into your marriage to destroy it. Next thing you know, you look up, you're like, how we get here? We ain't had sex in 6 months. How did we get here? That's crazy because I'm not letting 6 days go by. You talk about 6 months. Listen, we got to have a conversation if 6 days go by. You let 6 months go by anger, pride, resentment, unforgiveness, you let that come in. You letting the devil win. When you gonna stop? When you gonna stop? And some of you right now are saying in your head, I can hear it. You're saying, well, he's got to come to me before I forgive. Or she's got to come to me before I forgive. God is like, who you won't forgive, I won't forgive you. So now, those that are not forgiven do not receive the kingdom of heaven. No one is worth your eternal life. How dare you want God to forgive you, but you won't forgive your spouse? Really? Okay. Last but not least, I like this one. It's the power. Touch creates the power of persuasion, the power of influence. Listen, when I want something from my husband, I massage him. I rub his back. I massage his head. I rub his feet. Oh, he's persuaded. I remember I told y'all I rubbed his feet and he like, I don't know what it is, babe. He says it all the time. He said, I don't know what it is, but when you rub my feet, it must be veins running up to my brain because it's like, I feel like I'm captivated by you. I'm like, yeah, that's that power of influence. That's that power of influence. Ladies, you talking about, I want my husband to get me this. I want him to do this. Touch him. He'll do it. And while you're touching, go ahead and ask him, babe, can we go out to dinner tomorrow night? Babe, can I buy that thing on Amazon? He gonna be like, you could have whatever you like. You like, yeah. Y'all got to get to touching. Y'all better stop playing. Don't let the enemy ruin your marriage. Stop letting him win. Stop being so bullheaded and full of pride. You need to start touching everywhere. Start touching your spouse. Do it today. Who's going to do it today? Say, okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to forgive. And I am going to touch my spouse today. It's amazing to me when I ask somebody, when was the last time you gave your spouse a massage? And they're like, man, I can't even remember. What? That is crazy. If my husband requires this on a regular basis, or I know that he enjoys that, so I want to. And he massages me. He touches me. It's something about when your husband touches your... Men, listen, touch your wife. When the last time you massaged your wife? Sometimes y'all getting all the goods. Y'all getting all the massaging, all the loving and everything. But when was the last time you massaged your wife's back? Go and buy, I double dog dare you to go on Amazon and order a massage bed. And then lay it out. Put some candles around. Put that music on. Sexual healing. All right? Put it on that. Wake up, wake up. Right? Put on sexual healing, right? So when they come in from work or they come in from wherever they coming from, they smell the candles. They hear the music. And then you say, come on, baby, I got you. And guide them to the table. Take off their clothes for them. Lay them down. Yeah. Get the massager and go buy some good massage oil. Don't just buy no baby oil. Buy the massage oil. Stop being so cheap. Go buy some massage oil, okay? Because it causes your hands, your fingers to glide into the body a little bit better. And then massage their body. As a matter of fact, let's back up. First of all, have a bathtub ready so they can soak for a minute. Have a little appetizer for them when they come in. And so that they can, have a little moment in the tub. Then they come out. You dry them off. You put them on the massage table. Rub them. Ooh, y'all about to have a good night tonight. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoy sex. I enjoy it. I love it. I love being intimate with my husband. I love when my husband touches me. I love to touch him. What is stopping you? Whatever problems you are having, listen, we offer coaching. You want to know more about coaching? Go to mrstoybanks.com and you can get coaching. Request to get coaching so you can get over these issues so y'all can get back to touching. Listen, wife, you need a community. Listen, come and join the Satisfied Wife Club. Go to www.satisfiedwifeclub.com. It's a community of women that are learning the secret sauce to becoming a satisfied wife. Listen, the only kind of wife to be is a satisfied wife. And every wife in the Satisfied Wife Club is discovering how to be a satisfied wife, how to serve a husband, how to honor and respect him, but also how to take care of herself, how to take care of her family, how to pursue her purpose. We're learning a lot of things in the Satisfied Wife Club. And husbands, if you are watching, the best gift you can give your wife is a membership in the Satisfied Wife Club, because she's going to bless your socks off. So go to www.satisfiedwifeclub.com and join our community today and learn the secret sauce to becoming a satisfied wife. I'm your girl, Mrs. Toy Banks, the world's most satisfied wife. Now go get to touching. God bless.